Hi Pisces, this is Kay. You're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to your reading. So we're going to do the past, present, and near future thing again. Changed it up. Got kind of bored with the other way I was doing it. I'll go back to it at some point, but just not right now. Okay. This is 2 decks together because I was hoping that it would give me a much more opportunity not to have repeats. And I just had a repeat on the reading I just did. Okay, so quit whinging and let's pick the past energy. Bridge. Okay, I'll read that in a minute. Bridge for the past. How about present day? Oh, church. Church for the present day. Okay, what about near future? Crow. Memories. Remembering. Wow. Card 22. That's master number. All right, so we have our past, present, and near future. Past can be near or far. So 12, it adds up to 3, so that's communication. Bridging the gap between not communicating and communicating. Here it says communication, unite, connecting, integrate, share, collaborate, harmony, compromise, and overcoming barriers. So overcoming barriers or obstacles to having good communication with someone, because we don't communicate with things. We do, but you know, at an energetic level. But when we communicate, we speak in some ways, whether it's texting, telephone, and you know, whatever. It is with a person. Some person is supposed to receive it. So let's see here. The present day is church. Principle, religion, dogma, family values, marriage, structure, belief system, collective consciousness, tradition, and programming. Oh, programming. Oh my God. That's the dogma thing, I guess. Okay. Let's see. Crow for the near future. Oh, by the way, this is 36. That's 9. Something's coming to an end energy. 22, master number. Also, you don't generally break it down, the 11s and 22s and 33s, but if you want it to, it's 4, which is a new foundation, as master. Crow, memories, remembering, mystery, magical power, a new event are happening. Clever problem solver, and observant, and omen. Ooh, kind of scary. All right, creepy. All right, let's get some Lenormand. Archangel Michael, for the bridge, please. Past energy. Moon. Number 32, that's 5, that's change. Moon energy. Right, for present day, we have fish. 34, that's 7. So fish, you know, you would want to teach someone to fish instead of give them a fish. All right, and for the near future, we have sun. Lovely. 31, there's your foundation. That's 4. Okay, wonderful. New foundation. Building. Problem solver. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Major Arcana. Something not clear. Maybe it was that there was either not enough communication, no communication, or the communication is just people are misunderstanding each other with this. So change has got to come about. Something needs to change with that. Okay. Then church, 9, something's ending. Marriage, it says here. Structure. Something, some kind of misunderstanding is changing, is ending. So that things can be understood between you and someone else. Better understood, right? We have temperance. Okay, so that's healing. Support, protection, and memory. Interesting. That one speaks of memories. Slow down and reconnect with the Creator for everything you need. Well, okay. Yeah, of course you can do that. but you may need to slow down and communicate with someone, your needs with somebody. Okay, Archangel Michael just told me. He just told me that you are making a reconnection with somebody, that there's a relationship problem. You're in a relationship with someone, whether it's work, romantic, whatever. It's a relationship problem. The communication has not been forthcoming or clear, and it needs to change. Clarity needs to come about. That's the past. Okay, the present day is that it's happening. There's communication with this here. The fish. We got the king of pentacles. Yeah. Okay, that's somebody who's abundant. Yeah, and fish, the story about that. The fish are abundant. They're flying in this card. Fish are flying. But anyways, you are starting to communicate in a way that's it's starting to heal the misunderstandings between you and this person, is what I'm trying to say. So there has been things that kind of like a belief system or a structure in place that made you or this person have a number of things. One of the things could be that they just never really learned how to properly communicate, effectively communicate, okay? Pisces, or you didn't. Or that it's like they grew up not knowing how to play nice and find solutions, solve problems with people. Instead, they ran away, they hid, they just didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to talk about it. And if you think about a lot about partners, spouses, partners, whatever, a lot of times communication is the major problem in the relationship that is causing issues, obstacles, issues, blockages, moving forward and leveling up in it, and you're just growing and moving, expanding together. It's everything to do with really communication. Some people, although they might be able to communicate, they'd rather not, and so they stick their head in the sand like an ostrich would, right? They do the ostrich thing. They hide, they run away. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about their feelings. They don't want to have to make themselves vulnerable that way, or make themselves available to their spouse in that way, because they want to appear as though they don't care, or that it's no skin off their nose, or it's not that important to them that you feel this way or want to talk about this or that, the other thing. It's like they're hurting, so they're hiding. And it's like an eye for an eye mentality, in the sense that you and them had a conversation, or not, like wouldn't call it a conversation. Maybe you had an argument, and it was a very short-lived argument, because somebody just slammed the door and ran out and slammed the door and said, I'm not doing this. And we got the King of Swords. For clarification, talk about somebody who is going to communicate. This is the quintessential communicator, but it's so black and white. The King of Swords is not going to allow their emotions to get in the way of their conversation or of their communication. So there is some kind of support, protection, and memory. Slow down, reconnect with the Creator for everything you need. Slow down and reconnect with your person to tell them what everything you need. Now the person has to be available for that. So you might be this one in the energy of the King of Swords. And the fish energy is just that there's so much. There's an overabundance of an overabundance of things that need to be said and understood and agreed or not agreed on, compromises, stuff like that. The crow is that in the near future, the sun, obviously solutions come. A clever problem solver. So you're going to find a way to overcome the challenges of the past, of not communicating and having these misunderstandings between the two of you. Okay. Then of course, happy. New foundation in your relationship, where you are now building a brand new beginning. This is the Ace of Pentacles right here. Brand new beginning of abundance, which is the sun energy. Abundance, prosperity. There's an overabundance here. This is going to be an abundance, a balanced abundance. That's a weird way. A balanced abundance. I don't think I've ever said that before. All right. There'll be a balance in the abundance. Not too much, not too little. All right, what we got? We've got the hangman. Hangman, feeling sacrificed. Things are not moving. Things are not going anywhere. It's because the two of you are not communicating. You weren't communicating. Things were unclear. 5 of Cups. Crying over spilt milk. Just feeling bad. Lonely, rejected. Possibly resentful. But feeling bad. But there is there's 2 of Cups here. Somewhere it's in there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I don't know why they have them all on the floor. Because none of them are broken. But it looks like there was something broke. This cup looks different than the rest of them. So I don't know. Maybe that's not a cup. I don't know. Okay. So 5 of Cups. Yep. It's like things are not clear. All you know is that things are broken between the two of you. Things are broken because there's no communication. It's not effective enough communication. Somebody isn't wanting. They've been wanting to hide and avoid. Being able to express the way they're thinking and feeling. All right, and then we have the Emperor. That was where taking charge, take control, but it's also husband energy. The Queen of Cups. Okay. And the Queen of Swords. Look at that. Yep. Queen of Swords. Okay, one more. Right, this card's so big that this goes with that. So I have to get one more out. The Empress. Okay, and then the back of the deck is the Ace of Wands, the 3 of Swords, the Last Judgment, which is the Judgment card, the Moon, and Justice, Strength. Yeah, I'll just bring them out. Moon, Justice. We'll put Strength over here. Okay, so now I know that this is your person. They want to communicate, but they don't know how to do it without being too emotional. And their emotion might be anger, coming up as anger and resentment. Just throwing darts at you because they think you're throwing darts at them. Eye for an eye, right? But they're going to be finding a place where they can bring their energy into equilibrium enough so that they're going to be able to communicate with you, share how it is that they're feeling, so that the two of you can get back on track, reconnect, and have that, remove the barriers that have come between you. The harmony that's been thrown out the window. You're going to unite and reconnect. find the clarity, because that's the change that's needed with the two of you communicating. You are in the past, you've been like kind of, there's nothing been happening other than things that don't move a relationship forward. Everything else is going on that doesn't move a relationship forward, and we're feeling, you know, regretful and remorseful, maybe from the things that we've said or done, but definitely feeling sad and like I don't know, you know, I don't know what to do, kind of thing. Sad, and I'm not. How do we make this right? How do we fix this? How do we fix this, right? Well, the fixing might come from, who knows, you know, from putting an end to the misunderstandings by tapping into a belief system, or removing themselves from a belief system. Like, they might have witnessed, your person might have witnessed, or you might have witnessed your parents, the way they solved problems through communication or not, right? And you might have seen, perhaps, whenever your mom wanted to talk to dad about something, dad would just get angry and run out the door, you know, angry, and say, oh, Helen, not this again, you know, and run out the door and slam it. And he makes himself very not available, very unavailable, or vice versa, you know. It doesn't have to be always the man doing that. So, but in this case, we got somebody who is stepping up to the plate with the Emperor energy, taking charge, taking control as a husband, to say, Queen of Cups, you're my queen, Pisces, you're my queen. Now again, you could be a man watching this, Pisces, and you'll be in the Queen of Cups energy, and your person is in the Emperor energy, and it can be a woman in the Emperor energy, okay? But in any case, you're my Queen of Cups. I see how loving and compassionate and emotional you are, where you might have been overly emotional, too much emotion for them, an overabundance of emotion. Now, the emotion may not be all like, you know, the really positive, lovely stuff. It could be the anger, get quickly angered and all this sort of stuff. But you are, with these two energies here, with the Temperance card right here and the King of Swords, what we're doing is we're tempering what this person's doing is that they're going to be available to have a conversation with you, black and white, without the emotion, because they see that that you're overly emotional, and they're going to take charge of this, have a conversation. Let's get through this. Let's find an understanding between us. Let's clear up the misunderstandings that is like tearing us apart. Let's clear up the misunderstandings. I see how loving and beautiful and compassionate you are, Pisces. But sometimes you're just too much. You're too much for me, right? And so that throws them off, and it makes them shut down. The King of Swords wants to communicate, but can't reach you at your emotion, because they keep their emotions under control, whereas you have all, you know, you're just a fountain of emotions. Okay? So what they need you to do is to step into the Queen of Swords energy. So now you've got your emotions under control. You got them balanced as the Queen of Cups, stepping into the emotional control of the Queen of Cups. But also be, because of that, you're actually stepping into the energy of being able to speak your truth. But with the gray, you know, you're not, like this guy here, he doesn't have the gray area. The Queen of Swords does. King of Swords doesn't, Queen of Swords does. So the Queen of Swords will allow her to be discerning enough to be able to say, you know, she allows her feelings to make decisions that speaks her truth, but from a very controlled and balanced way. Does that make sense? Okay. So the two of you are actually evolving through this. And it could be that you are, you're married maybe, or just partners in a romantic, committed relationship, but it could be that you do go to church. You go to church, but you're having some difficult marriage difficulties right now. And it has to do with communication. And so now the two of you are finding a way to be able to temper his need to just avoid the emotions by running away, hiding, not talking, not communicating, right? And you are tempering you're tempering your habit, possibly. Not habit, this is the way you learned, okay? You're tempering your emotional ups and downs. You're tempering that. You're bringing equilibrium in. You're going to allow yourself to communicate in a way that speaks your truth with the Queen of Swords, but it also, you're able to put what you know really well. You're in touch with your emotions. He not so much. He's in touch with them, but he doesn't allow himself to communicate with that emotional edge to it, like compassionately. He might be so black and white that when he talks, it feels like they're mechanical, like they're just like, it's either this or it's that. It's like, come on, honey, it's either, you gotta make a decision. You're either going to do this or you're going to do that. And it's not like, oh, I'll help you see what the benefits are of this or benefits are of that, emotionally, fulfillment, right? They're not into that. They don't do that. So you've kind of been compensating by trying to drag the emotion out of him. Because us women, we think we can heal our man. We can cure them. We can cure our person. We can change him, right? We'll make him a better emotionally available person, right? So we sometimes end up going overboard, overflow, and overabundance. We go overboard with trying to compensate for the lack of theirs showing up when you feel it needs to show up. Okay, so they're going to take the challenge on because they're taking the challenge on because they love you. They see how beautiful person you are, how abundant you are, and that you're just a sweetheart. You just have so many complicated emotions that they just don't know how to sort through it. I don't know. And so they just put their head in their hands and they say, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I should just get out of here, right? I should just walk away at this point in time so I can find some fresh air, get some clarity. But they're going to not do that. It's like you're talking to say, look, every time we need to talk about something, you might be saying to them, you don't want to talk about it, and everything's black and white, and you just run off, and you refuse to talk about it, you hide, and then we can't talk about it. And then they say to you, well, because you're talking about it now, well, you're over emotional, you're too they're going to say that you're too sensitive. Oh my God, don't say that. Okay, but you're going to be okay with that. You're too sensitive. I say something and you're right away say it thinking that I'm an asshole, that I don't have enough feelings or compassion, or you don't care enough, or that I don't care enough. But I do care. I just may not, when I speak about it, I may not sound like I care, but I do care. I honestly do, genuinely care. All right, so then that's where your wires get crossed. And so you're saying, this is what I see is going on, why our wires get crossed. But if you're willing to work at it with me, to allow yourself to speak, to hang out and talk to me, then I won't need to be so overly emotional, and I'll get myself in check, emotionally in check. But I'll be speaking my truth, and they'll say, well, that's what I want. That's what I want. I want you to speak your truth. Yep, and so you will, and guess what? you climb on board to this and you start practicing it so well in the near future. Like the near future energy is that it's a clever problem solving thing. It's a new event or happening for you. You are becoming, both of you are becoming a different communicator. You're finding patience and tolerance with each other, and you're teaching each other that you're having that honest conversation about, this is how I see you when we talk about things, and this is how I see you when we talk about things. And they say, well, okay, if this is a problem for you, I will promise to be like this. And if you say, okay, if this is a problem, me being overly whatever is a problem for you, then I will keep that under check, right? I promise. So then the two of you are like going forward happily ever after. Happily ever after. You are in the Empress energy of having learned something very invaluable about yourself and stepped into the energy of taking charge, taking control, like actually doing something about it. And then there's a new beginning that the divine steps in and says, you're going to have a new beginning that's going to be very enlightening, very inspiring and motivating to you, because the two of you are now like you're a couple built on solid communication now. You're actually talking to each other. There won't be any more of this, right? There won't be any more of this. This problem has been solved because you both have made the final judgment, the decision to become better communicators, to clear up any misunderstanding. Any sign of a misunderstanding is going to be dealt with swiftly. Does not justice be dealt swift, right? Swiftly. It's going to be dealt swiftly. In other words, you're going to catch it when you see it might actually crop up again. That you might become too overly emotional and they might shut down and not refuse to talk. You're both going to be on the lookout for that when you start communicating, talking about stuff. This is wonderful, guys. A lot of strength and control, strength and courage to be able to go forward like this in that energy together, having learned from each other. You've taught each other something that is very important to help you grow into a more stable, well-rounded individual, but as a couple together. This is beautiful, guys. I'm so happy for you. I really am. It was looking kind of grim at first. But it's great, Pisces. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please like and subscribe if it resonated. Bye for now.